So thank you for joining us for this webinar with Sonia Pomerleau, the COO and co-owner of Next Level Now, which is a embedded finance firm that works primarily with MSPs. They run on EOS. They have a lot of clients that run on EOS. And when they started using Strety, they realized they could run EOS with their clients. So they're running both internally and externally. And Sonia is going to walk through how they do it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Samantha. So thank you everyone for joining. A tiny bit more about Next Level. We are like Samantha said, a CFO-led finance organization with over 30 employees and over 40 clients around the US. We lead all of our teams with a CFO, all full-time CFOs. They are backed up by a whole team of financial experts in the MSP world, advisors, controllers to close the books, and work with a client's team one-on-one with the transactional work, technologists that understand PSA systems and finance systems, and accountants as well to do transactional work if and when needed. We embed really deeply with our clients, as mentioned. And this is just an image of how our teams interact with clients. Sometimes we are a standalone, completely self-sustaining finance arm of our client, but most times we're integrated, again, embedded with that client. And what that means is we might have a bookkeeper at the client site or 3 or 4 of them, and our team is interfacing and really intermingling with them to make one cohesive team. That is why it is critical for us to be operating in tandem and complete cohesion with our customers as one team. A pretty difficult thing to actually achieve, and Strety has helped us grow tremendously, and really looking forward to showing everyone how we've done that. So where things broke down before, client management tools were all over the place. It was a hodgepodge of Teams messaging, email to a dedicated email address, Excel, Word, SharePoint, which was locked down, so the client couldn't have access to that. We were just bouncing all around the place, and it was really hard to establish a firm process for Next Level, the Next Level way, if you will, and also to deliver the same source, the same level of service to all of our clients. We did, of course, and have in the past brought together different systems and whole different practice management systems to deliver, again, that cohesive practice management interface, including things like Rippling, Microsoft Planner, 90, and again, Team SharePoint, kind of the whole Microsoft suite, if you will. That led to, of course, limited visibility, and especially on the client side, even though we might have felt like we were doing a really good job and checking off task lists and owning rocks and measurables, the client had no way or had no way of sharing that with the client in an ongoing, transparent manner, besides an executive summary at the end of week or month. It just didn't feel like we were giving enough visibility into all of the things that we were providing for the client. So the shift came last year in 25 when we got kind of tired of 90. Just the way it looked, the way it performed. We knew that there was a better way. And one of our MSP customers actually introduced us to Strety, and we quickly created a trial, and our CEO, Brandy, just started migrating everything by hand from 90 into Strety for internal EOS operations. That was it. That was just the premise of it. We were just going to move EOS systems, right, to help us with our L10s internally. We didn't even think of having this be a practice management system at first. So again, before and after, as we just talked about, emails, manual onboardings for clients, Excel trackers for onboarding checklists, low visibility, and meetings. We just didn't have a lot of managerial oversight for going. After we adopted Strety in a practice management system, which we'll get into the story of that, our teams have been absolutely more cohesive. We're using all parts of Strety to deliver our services, including projects, rocks to do, issues, scorecards, and this gives us real-time collaboration with the app mentioned, with our external user clients, which people love because social media, it's just second nature now for us to collaborate back and forth in an issue and keep everything organized in that one spot. And the agendas were fantastic because it creates, again, that intentionality and consistency amongst teams. We onboard new employees constantly. We are in a wheel of hiring all the time. And that's a huge growing pain for us, is how do we disseminate the NLN way to our new employees in a fast enough manner that's fair to everyone? So this has helped us tremendously. So how does our work actually get done? When we find there's a fit through the sales process, which is very intimate, right? Because we're taking on finances for companies. So this is a big decision for people. And it's not like we're doing these every day, right? It might be 1 or 2 a month. And the SOW is really the core promissory note. This is, here's what we're going to deliver in the first 90 and 180 days. And we parse out our delivery promises as rocks in an SOW. Those rocks will drive what we see as the immediate need at an organization. And then we build our work structure around those rocks and executing them, as well as day-to-day work with clients like processing bills, learning systems, creating SOPs. So onboarding, this was my pet project last quarter in my rock, and it actually took me 2 quarters, and it was wonderful to just kind of have an aha moment. I don't know when it happened, probably in the shower or something, that I think I can probably use Strety projects for my onboarding. Onboarding used to be really driven by, again, sales, because we had that relationship in the whole discovery process through, delivery, and this is what we are providing. So that used to be a PowerPoint, and that's always a little stale, but it used to be a PowerPoint where we'd introduce the team and say, here are the things we're promising. What happens? Check in with our CFOs and our teams, of course, every week. But again, it was just an uncomfortable feeling for me, especially, who likes to be in the know, but is not. I'm, again, owning sales and marketing, so it's a little harder for me to understand all the ins and outs of what's happening without seeing them there. So we pivoted from a lengthy PowerPoint to a Strety project. The PowerPoint now is about 3 slides. It's, hey, here's your team. You see them on the meeting. Here's all their info, but you're going to see that in Strety anyway. And I'm going to show you Strety. This is basically where you're going to live with us. And here are the things that we promised. Instead of showing them the PowerPoint, we switched the screen over simply to projects. We open up their team. So each of our clients has their own dedicated team in Strety and their external users. The permissions were the first thing that we analyzed when we had that aha last year of, oh, wow, this thing could be practice management. And only if our clients were super locked down and they couldn't see each other's spaces, right? And our employees couldn't see it because, like, why should they see all 40 of our clients? So really quickly, we understood it's very secure and the permissions are there. So right away on that onboarding, we add our client team to it as external, our client team as internal users, of course, that are assigned to the team, and our customers are external users, which negligible cost. I don't even know. It didn't even matter. The cost was like, whatever, it's worth it, doesn't matter. I left the first couple onboardings that we did with this premise here on projects with people just delighted, right? And I had them actually rate the meeting. I had those clients rate the meeting, and we're all 10 out of 10s.
Nice.
Also, our clients, are MSPs, so they're expecting a really good process because they're doing something very similar to what we're doing, which is a bit obtuse, and it's hard to see the results all the time. So they've been very impressed with the kickoff and now moving forward into the 90 and 180 days. It's very easy, right? We just put in the SOW into rocks and to-dos that I already know, like, hey, we need access for this. We made to-do templates, very simple. To-do templates for, we're doing the kickoff meeting, we're gaining system access, which is actually kind of hairy because there's so many different systems that we need access to. And then a task list review, and let's open that up and let's see who owns what, right? And delegating these things with to-dos right away. And we're getting them really excited about using the system. And then we also introduce them to messaging and scorecards and really give them the down.
So you're onboarding new clients this way. Have you also introduced existing clients to this system and this way of doing things? And how was that transition for them?
Yes, great question. And same rave reviews. People who are not used to a lot of visibility, they are delighted that there's more visibility now. And as I'm calling existing clients, I'm able to page through and get a really good view of what's going on when I speak with them, and I even bring up Strety. So yeah, it's been overall rave reviews. The one thing that we can sometimes work on with some, it depends on the customer. Some people on the client side need to adopt a little bit more, right? So I'll give them that feedback too. Our team really needs more disciplined feedback from your team. So if anything, it's kind of asking them for a little more involvement, but overall it's been fantastic feedback.
Nice.
Yeah. I had mentioned that in the onboarding, we use agendas. We use agendas every day, every meeting. And again, helps frame the pattern, the cadence, the look and the feel of the meeting even. We all know some people need a little bit of time to warm up, right? They need that segue, and really easy for a numbers person to run right over that. So now when everyone's doing an agenda, timed agenda, they're saying, hey, okay, we're going to leave space for 2-3 minutes of segue. And how was your meeting? What's your personal and work best of last week or this week so far? And that is just a wonderful communication tactic. I don't think we leave enough room for those human interactions. Let's see. Key components, yes. The segue scorecards. Scorecards are great. We have a very regimented process. This is beyond just like a KPI dash. No one, all of our clients have executive reporting packages and KPI dash and such. We use those for really high levels, again, meant for managers like yourself to be able to go in and say, wow, this client has a 5% EBITDA. We can now kind of those all clients and see if that in one spot. Review. We're keeping everyone accountable. I think that is really tough working with clients a lot as an intertwined team like that, is holding the client accountable as well as our team. So if a rock isn't moving, we don't have to awkwardly mention it. We can show it on screen and say, well, what's getting in your way? What can I take off your plate to help? Issues are issues. Of course, to-dos are getting things done. The little things that we've had to train people on, to be totally transparent, is like, what's an issue? What's a to-do? What's a rock? And we have docs, formerly playbooks, to describe what is a rock. And we're able to just disseminate that to the team. And then we do trainings, micro trainings all the time, 15, 20-minute trainings on using Strety as a manager, how to run a good meeting, how to click through those agenda buttons. So we are just huge believers in repetition and quality training. And we use Strety to train all the time.
Nice.
Yeah. So again, we had that split of we're using Strety for a practice management system. Of course, we're still using Strety for our own EOS journey. We use it all. We use the VTO, accountability chart, right butts, right seats, our L10 meetings. We've got them configured for our weekly, our quarterly, and our annuals, of course. And I'll get into all of the other pieces, but we've got some scorecards. We've got the SAT surveys. We just got our recent client engagement survey, which was great. I didn't even really know how that worked until I saw the results. It was awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, we're using the whole stack. So training and development, I had mentioned one of our core growth issues is onboarding new employees, right? We're a company of minds, of people that are delivering integrated services. So that means we need more people when we get more clients. And that's a constant struggle learning experience for us. How do we onboard people? How do we teach them? They already know accounting, they already know finance, but they don't know our way. And they might not even know the MSP market, and they need 2 quarters, let's say, to really dig in and call themselves experienced in MSPs. So we use Strety as a training ecosystem. I thought we were going to have to purchase an LMS for Next Level, and we haven't had to. This is an example right here of a leadership development course that is happening currently at NLN. This isn't really on the accounting side, but it's awesome. It's leadership development, and everyone's taken part in that. We have named certain projects courses, very simple. We have used agendas, all the same framework that we talked about before. These are all just objects in the system that we can use for all different things. Actionable feedback. So what we've done is taken to-dos and renamed them into polls for training modules. And live polling is, all right, everyone, we're looking at Strety. We've got our agenda running for the course today. It's all online with us. And let's go to poll number 2. And we all open it up and we comment what our answers are live. So that was pretty neat. We just kind of came up with that. Also, our homework is assigned. So those are to-dos with different dates. And, I'm watching videos, Simon Sinek videos, going into, filling out what my intention is for this week. And it's all encapsulated in the Strety project. So I've really been enjoying using this for training. Marketing and events is my favorite. We use a fantastic fractional marketer in the MSP space. And before she and I were using a hodgepodge of things. Again, mostly Google Sheets because that's her environment. We're in Microsoft, whatever. So I was using my personal Gmail. Things were getting lost. I felt like I was a bit disconnected because things were living in so many different places between different suites. Really hard to remember, and a lot of just weight on my brain. So we opened up a new team for NLN marketing, and again, has my external contractor. Great, no problem with that. And this really did create cohesion. Gosh, I was just trying to track everything in Google Sheets. And sure, we could have opened up something like Monday, or maybe I could have used Microsoft Planner projects for this, but we were so locked down security-wise that wasn't working. I tried that before. So this is it. I mean, I made a custom agenda for it. It's pretty simple. Didn't take really anything to set it up. We have an L10 every other week. Scorecard is great. It's like, how many new LinkedIn followers do we have? What's our web traffic up week over week, month over month? I have a quarterly and an annual too. So, hey, she can prove to herself how successful she's been helping NLN with marketing. That's a real win-win. To-do, she loves it. She's like, yeah, assign that to me. Great, put this due date on it. fantastic. So she loves it. Issues and then blog ideas. And blog ideas, this is it again, it's another placeholder in the agenda, but I'm able to go in and throughout the week or 2 weeks that we meet, I am just kind of socking ideas away here, where I used to put them again on a sheet on a tab that would get buried. And then conclusion, we rate the meetings and we're super disciplined at this. And I have 2 other team members that aren't on that meeting because they don't need to be, but they get the wrap up after our agenda ends and then they can see the highlights. And I even assign things to those 2 people that don't need to be there and they can read it in the recap of the L10 and then they get the to-dos.
Nice.
So love it for marketing. Yep. Scorecards are performance and quarterly reviews too. This is, again, something that we completely did not think that we were going to be using Strety for. So this is a huge win. I already talked about the client scorecards, again, just getting those monthly, quarterly, and annual metrics. So I don't need to, before a client SAC call, I don't need to bother the whole customer team and say, what's the GP now, guys? What have we been doing? Like, I've been following this and I've heard this and I'm really good at remembering things, but I get a really nice objective picture of how a client is doing. And I'm not hearing any rosy pictures from my internal team either, because I can see, again, really quickly if how active the Strety team has been and what things are in archive, what things have been going on and how the rocks are progressing. Are they kicking the can down the road too much or are we crushing it? I can tell very quickly from looking at a team scorecard. Our employee performance scorecards, we have a really interesting bonus program here that is based on SLEEK methodology, SLIQ, which is part of IT Nation's Evolve kind of whole ecosystem, ConnectWise. If you know what it is, you know what it is. If you don't, good luck. It's taken me a year to understand it, but I get it now. So we have, again, very transparent bonus system. If we as a company meet these 2 numbers, everyone gets those 2 bonus components. No questions asked. We're all rowing in the same direction, right? And then you've got 2 other metrics that are in Strety that you self-measure, which are like, how many clients did I work on? We don't keep time or hours, so that doesn't matter for us. And then how many other like rocks did I get done? What was my time to complete my to-dos? That's all Strety data. That again is not subjective. So it's pretty easy to say you did it or you didn't do it. And you're getting your bonus. And we do, again, every quarter. So we're monitoring this every quarter. Another thing that can add to your bonus is your 555. So that's your quarterly reviews. We were doing that in Rippling, our PEO kind of HR system. And that was also not great either. And with onboarding a new employee, I had Rippling tasks and I would just completely forget about them, honestly, because I'm not in there except if I want to put in a day out of the office or pull my, my financial statements or whatever for my mortgage if I need to do that. Like that's the only reason I'm in Rippling. So now we do all of our 555s directly in Strety. This is the 2nd quarter we've done them and it's been working like gangbusters, amazing. We've simplified it. We realized we were asking too many questions. It was a little too cumbersome. So completely get it now. We're in our rhythm and our pattern of the 5s and they're short and sweet. And then the agenda is tied with the 555 review. So we don't go ad nauseum or off script schedule. If it's an issue we need to talk about, let's not do it in this meeting. We're very good about that, which is massively refreshing for a team that's mostly virtual. We've got about 10 people in our Boston office. But other than that, we got about 30 plus employees that are all over. So really hard to get that cohesion. So yeah, employee, everything.
That's great. I would love to hear more about how you structure the 5s and like how you came upon the structure that you guys have been using.
Yes. First of all, I think quarterly's good. We thought maybe it was a little too much, like too frequent. But again, with the virtual nature of the business, it felt like a real necessity just to make sure that people are happy and they're on track. And we have a quarterly bonus system plan, right? We came upon the questions, I don't even know how they were really formulated. They kind of trickled through, like I've seen them the last 2, I've been here for 2.5 years. So the same questions are there, but we've really narrowed them down. The top questions are you and your manager? So we self-review and we review with that person. So you submit 2 reviews, how I think I manage that person and how they think I manage them. And the most prominent thing at the beginning is, do they match our core values? Yes or no. So we state our core values from our VTO and yes or no, and then why. And if you have any no's, then that's like a red flag for the bonus. And we discuss those. We don't just say no, but we discuss them. Very important. Then I think the we trimmed it down because a few people were speaking up saying it was a lot of work. And we were seeing that people weren't submitting their 555 feedbacks on time. And we're like, why? Seems so easy. Well, it wasn't. It was just too much, too many questions. Brought it down to about, with those yes or no's, probably like 6 questions, and a lot of open text. And then we get on the meeting with our EA. Kendra schedules all of the meetings, and we have 555 like live reviews with the employee and manager, and we get on it and we read it together. We have a chance to read it beforehand, and then we read it together and we discuss it. And it's been really fantastic and transparent, I'll say.
Nice.
Yeah. Docs and processes in Strety. Another place where we didn't realize we were going to be using it so much and kind of have gone a little crazy with Playbooks or docs. We're going to be refoldering some things, but we are starting to collect and document, which was always a mantra of myself and our CEO Brandy's. She and I tend to take that extra 5 minutes to document something so that we can reuse it again. We just have that in our DNA. And now we've been able to transfer that mantra to our employees by saying, hey, doc it, process it, like let's memorialize it so we can use it again and again. And it's been working fabulously. We have got centralized SOPs now, and we get into it more like if it needs to be a video, then it can point over to a different area of SharePoint or a different Word doc in SharePoint, but everything is here. And this is really our internal operations, onboarding a client, onboarding an employee, the controller playbooks. This is like what you need to do for schedules. This is accounting operations. This is how we do a close. And again, it just gives that through line. When you're a virtual, fast-growing company like us, you need standardized processes. And this is something that everyone's adopted because they're in it. They're in Strety all day, so they're actually using it now. It's fantastic. Another thing that we love is the reading accountability, where we make something, it's fantastic, and then we create to-dos for everyone to read it, and people have to click off when they read it. Not only is that just gratifying for the person who spent all that time creating the asset, but now we have, from an HR perspective, like, yeah, read it. Like, it's in the audit trail, you read the document. So pretty easy to measure that now as well.
Nice.
So what has changed for our team? I'd like to think reduce stress. People know, and stress means, right, a lot of things to people, but what am I supposed to do, and am I doing it well? And we have come leaps and bounds because we're showing people this is what needs to be done. It's the team, it's the rocks and the docs. And this is, if you're doing well and you're meeting your scorecard items, you're getting a bonus, you're getting a promotion. I mean, what else do you want as a human who works, has a job, like in this day and age? It's fantastic. We have clarity, higher engagement, team members definitely more involved and invested in their work because they can see, if a controller's incredibly overloaded and they've got just things fell behind or something happened, it's easy now for our CFO on that account leading that pod to jump in and say, let me take that off your plate. I know, I can see that you have too much, and now I know what needs to be done with that task. Like, it's 101 project management, but when the whole team is on there and you can see it, and then you can tell the client, like, listen, we did these 10 things for you that were outside of what we said we're going to do this month. And that's why this rock is delayed. Ability, transparency, also ownership, and the things that we do, I've said this a bunch, but everything that we do is so intertwined. If an accountant doesn't get bank rec done, then the close can't happen. Like, everyone is equally as important in our organization, right? You're a transactional accountant. Well, that matters tremendously to the CFO. And again, if that work is delayed, the whole thing falls apart. We really have to act as a team, guys. And like it does happen with the clear ownership. And now everyone knows. When we had a little tiny issue of a close was delayed because someone thought that they could get that task done by the end of the day, when really the CFO said, no, I need it done by 9 a.m. on this day. Like, it does matter that there are 10 more hours here. So we even put in a time of day that I need this done by, and some comments about why it's important. And again, better client relationships. Like, we just had a call last week where a client was like, well, I don't even know if the onboarding is done. And we're like, actually, here, look at it. Like, it is done. You see it all right here. So I'm not trying to say it's a blame game, but it's transparency, where then they roll off and they're like, wow, you guys, you do a ton of work. And I can see that. Thank you. So that mutual relationship can be even stronger, and less chaos equals greater satisfaction in your life and what you're doing to provide money for your family and put food on the table. Key takeaways, I mean, I just said one, right? Reduce stress, better work environment, giving just better experience to the world and being a better human. Like, that's massive. Operational discipline, yes, we can roll out our framework to new employees and new clients in a much more thoughtful manner and organized. Simplicity, I can't say that enough. Don't re-engineer the thing. Don't hold it back because it's not perfect, but make it simple and easy to use. And then you can tweak from there. And just one system. Strety is awesome, and it isn't the whole reason that things are working well. I think one of the reasons is that it's all just in one place, and we didn't kill ourselves to make it perfect. We're like, I think this is enough that, like, let's abandon that system because it's just too much noise and not enough people are using it. So I'm opting for adoption over perfection. And that has helped us move smarter and way faster. Because again, things don't need to be perfect, but the framework needs to be there. So now we find ourselves like rolling out new things faster and driving people to adopt a practice because all the documentation's there and you can kind of DIY, learn a new process or delivery mechanism in our method much easier. So building off that, we're to start with one thing. We started with our own EOS journey, and then we opened this up to existing clients, right? And they were ones that were like pumped to have themselves be a guinea pig. And then we started onboarding new clients, right? And then more legacy training our people pods at a time. Templates, just use them. Like, why not? Again, that should be like in your DNA. I kind of was poo-pooing the to-do template because I'm like, this is so easy. Why wouldn't I? Oh my God, make the to-do template. Just do it. Because it'll save you, not only does it save you time, but it catalogs that thing, the right way to do it and say it. It catalogs it. Again, it's a repeatable process. So it can be so much more simple, again, than you think. And adoption, not perfection. We do these micro trainings, 15-minute trainings, because that's what people can handle in their schedule and it possibly in their brain. And we don't want to just do like an all-day training and call it quits. We do micro things, not perfect, but repetition. You need to keep repeating things for people to really get it. And that's about it, Samantha. Would love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Awesome. I would love to just have you talk a little bit more about the training piece because I think that's so important. We'll just keep repeating that you need to repeat. So how do you guys incorporate that like in your LTA meetings at like the internal level, department, all the way down?
Yeah, as far as our internal trainings go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another big thing that doesn't really matter here, but it's awesome, is we've gotten so into training that the training courses that are really around hard finance stuff, we've gotten approved for CPE credits. So that's cool. That was a lot of work. So our people now get internal CPE credits for sitting in our classes, how to eliminate the close, how to grow from an advisor into a CFO. So first of all, we put out kind of like once a quarter, hey, here are the courses that we're going to be offering for Q3. Email me back or put your name here if you're interested. And that's great. Like that alone, I've never had training in previous companies. I've worked not like this, right? Like we've done Sandler training from an outsourced person, but we've never done internal training about our own methodology. So we can see right away like who's interested, right? That shows a lot of the employee kind of dedication and satisfaction. And again, now we're able to template it. Another huge thing that I guess a trust factor in this is that it feels so set up, the training, because we've got the project and the assets and we know how to deliver it to get CPE credits because that's all very, fixed. And to the point where it's so documented because of the nature of how we're delivering it, that Brandy, our CEO, who's like CFO extraordinaire, has been able to we've been able to hire this amazing educator who now can deliver the trainings that Brandy was doing. It's just not sustainable. We can't have our CEO doing all of these trainings all the time, but she took a first knock at it. She crushed it. And now we've hired someone on contract who our team loves and trusts to deliver those trainings. It saves Brandy hours and hours per week. And now we're going to be able to use Brandy's superpowers in different ways. So I'll say the documentation, it's forced us to document, it's forced us to create the assets. And now having someone being able to deliver the training is like transformative for us in her schedule.
That's awesome. And one more question. So you have mentioned that there have been maybe a couple of clients who have run into maybe little speed bumps in their adoption of like the system and the process. What have you done to help people get over that and get like with the system that you're running now?
Well, first, an ask question is with employees, because it's a bigger issue, right? Of course. With employees, if we don't see something, it could be coming on just like I'm gonna call Rob today and see how he's doing. And I might go in there and just see like, hey, do you have a full workload? Because it doesn't look like you have many to-dos going on. Right. So like we'll just kind of always check with people and make sure that their work product is consistent in Strety. And that's then, no, I didn't know I should use it that way. And we're like, okay, Kendra, can you schedule 30 minutes per week with this person? We're just going to do deep dives into each section of Strety until they got comfortable. And that usually it's only like a couple sessions. And they're like, oh, this is so much easier. Wow, thank you. I was just basically they were like putting it off. So I'll say that. It's hard to change your ways, right? I'm a super open mindset person. So it's just easy. I get excited about new systems, but not everyone is that way. And I get it. So it's just one-on-one micro sessions with people. On the client side, we can't force people to do it, right? They're not under our employee, but it's either from myself, Brandy, the CFO, it's hey, client, we're able to all see it and it's to your benefit. And honestly, we will sometimes go up to the owner level if it's maybe the bookkeeper on their side that's not doing it. They're just won't stop sending things through email. And we'll have the same approach. Happy to sit on for 15 minutes with you and show you, click around the system with you. It's really not that hard. So we just offer support where needed in any format for any kind of person.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I think I'm fresh out of questions, but
Great.
this was awesome. Thank you so much for running through it. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
No, I mean, just the coaching program's been great. We can tell our clients sometimes they get so jazzed about strategy, and almost all of them know about EOS, and it's wonderful, but they haven't built out their own VTO. They haven't really adopted it. We've had a few clients that are like, I need to get this system. So yeah, so we're able to, they're able to sign up, and then we can go in and out and kind of see their strategy. So even though they're not now using our team for everything, we're able to drop in and see theirs. So that lends a lot of visibility as well. Even though they want to own their own strategy, we can still do that. So yeah, really excited about the system and the support. Like can't say enough good about the support messaging. I'm just always getting an answer same day during working hours. And if it's not something that Strety can accomplish, they catalog the idea, or we've even had a couple of things that have been released recently, like fixes, and I get so excited about that. I perpetuated that. So no, pleasure to work with, and keep doing the great work. Thank you.
Thanks, Sonia. Well,
Great.
that was fantastic. And I hope everybody connects with Sonia and checks out Next Level Now if you need an awesome finance team.
Great. Thank you, Samantha. Thanks, Strety.